Howdy folks, Gonzo not here. Shooting my first outside video, letting you guys get a little bit of a view of the landscape, or lack of landscape I should say. I chose this location because there's nothing better to talk about the destruction of the mind in front of than the destruction of nature. This is going to be a pretty personal video, so hope you all take into account what I'm saying and really listen to it. The topic for today is marijuana versus alcohol, a topic that has been debated heavily among all generations, all humans, all races, all genders. It's been an ongoing debate forever, you know? And I have a very biased view on it, I guess I could say. I've tried to limit the bias, but honestly, I feel that alcohol is much, much worse. The first of many reasons being that alcohol destroyed my family. Alcohol has left an impact on my life that will be following me through most of my life because it pretty much turned my father into a monster. When I was 10 years old, my dad was drinking behind my family's back every single night. He had a job where he would go to various different places across the world for weeks at a time, and we found out later that he was working maybe half the day and then partying the rest of it every single day. And he was hiding the drinking from our family for a long time, and it took a while, but eventually the truth came out and we all figured it out. And that was actually after he had divorced my mother. Right when I started going into middle school, he divorced her and left the house, left all of us, stole a bunch of stuff from it, and pretty much ruined my life. Pretty much made me feel like I was worthless. That was the lowest point of my life right then, and for a long time I didn't see him at all, 2, maybe 3 years. And then one day he came back into my life and offered to start seeing me again, and I started going back over to his house, and things got really rough. I mean, he lost his job at the company he had worked with for 20-25 years, and that's when his alcoholism really took a dive. And he'd start offering me alcohol, my little sister alcohol. I was 16, 17 at the time. He was shit-faced all day, every day. And one day, I was over at his house, and we got into an argument. Something about gas money, I believe, me asking him for gas money, and he called me an ungrateful bastard and threatened to put a brick through the windshield of my car, and later chased me throughout the yard with a large chunk of firewood, which he was threatening to hit me over the head with. Needless to say, that was the last time I ever spoke to him. That was the last time that I ever went over to his house, and that was the last time that I could really ever say I had a father. Like, before then, I didn't feel like I really had a father, but after that, I knew I didn't have a father. Or dad. I have a father, obviously, but not a dad. But, so yeah. I got a court order against him that he couldn't see me. He then started to refuse to pay any of my medical bills, any of my medical expenses, any of my sister's medical bills and medical expenses. Child support, he's always been behind on. He's tried to literally take this house from me and my family, leave us all homeless. He's tried to kidnap me and my sister at one point. We're very sure that he tried to get me out of the state and never let me come back. But this recently came to a head, as it's been 3 years since April of this year since I talked to him. and we recently found out that he up and moved without telling anyone. He packed all his shit up and he left. So there's the end of that chapter in my life, hopefully. But what that brings me back to is the whole debate, marijuana versus alcohol. When this all started going down, right when I was around age 16, I began to use marijuana. It started off mostly due to peer pressure, I won't lie. I had a group of friends that were heavy into it, and they wanted me to get into it. So one day I tried it, and I really enjoyed it. I've tried drinking. I never got off on it. I never found it to be that great. But, so yeah, I started smoking all day, every day. It was a real tough part of my life, and it really helped me cope with it. I know a lot of people look down upon it. A lot of people say that it's killing yourself. It's a one-way ticket to jail or drug addiction, but I've never come across that. I've never experienced that. It's helped me put my mind in a relaxed state where I can actually sit down and figure out my problems, if that makes any sense. I can look at things from an abstract point of view, and I can break down what's going on in my life and what I can do to fix it. I'm not saying I advocate it. I'm not saying that everyone should do it. If you don't agree with it, then that's definitely your opinion. But alcohol turned my dad into a monster. Alcohol made him into someone that didn't care about anybody but himself. It made him into someone that no one could get close to. He isolated himself from everyone. It turns you into a violent person. There's never been reports of dudes getting high and beating the hell out of their wives or kids, or driving their cars into a family full of a car that's full of another family, you know, like that doesn't happen. The car wrecks maybe sometimes, very rare. But alcohol destroys your mind. You cannot function when you're drunk. I can function when I'm high. I've done it for years. I'm not saying that I'm 100%, but I'm a lot better than if I was drunk. I have drank, and I had no control over what I was doing. I was not myself, and I made stupid decisions. I've drank maybe 3 or 4 times in my life, and every time something horrible happened. I think that it should be illegal in the United States because we're already full of idiots. Most everyone in this country is an idiot, and allowing something like that to be freely accessible is just asking for trouble. I live by the saying that alcohol is the destruction of a nation and marijuana is the healing of a nation. I think, if anything, that's more accurate than most other portrayals of it. And I'm not even necessarily saying that I believe it should be legal. I'm just saying that alcohol should be illegal. But regardless, that's been my point of view. That's what I wanted to convey to you guys. It's just the stories of my life, and this is one of many chapters that I'm going to be telling you guys about. I'll go more in depth to it as my videos progress and as I become a little more comfortable with it. But that's just a little snapshot into my life, and I hope you guys appreciate it and enjoyed it. I think I'm going to let you guys go right now. This has been Gonzo Not, and Gonzo out.